Hey guys, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the reflective cycle. And there are quite a number of different frameworks regarding the reflective cycle. However, I think it's a little bit dangerous to try to utilize these frameworks without understanding the context. So I'm just going to deep dive into some of the effects of effective reflective practice. Effects of effective reflective practice. Wow, that was a mouthful. But if you think about it, the effects of reflective practice are really powerful from a few standpoints. Number one, it increases your critical thinking. Number two, it enables you to maintain a sense of emotional stability once you've done some kind of concrete reflection. I found that people maintain their sanity just simply by doing regular reflective practice. The next one is they'll end up making much better decisions. And largely because there's a greater sense of confidence in what they're thinking about, and because of this increase in confidence, they can take an uplift to enhance their next steps in terms of reflection. I definitely place confidence as an additional factor that benefits an individual when they're doing reflective thinking. The fifth one is to really cover gaps. Once you understand what you're not doing well, you'll be able to cover that gap by simply being very objective about what you want to accomplish. So with these 5 key benefits, there are so many more. I mean, because you're able to do this, there are extensions into your relationships, into your networks, into your professional growth, and perhaps if you're an entrepreneur, into your revenues and costs as well. So let me give you a 8-step framework that I've curated over a very long time, which I call the bite seat model. The reason why this is quite an interesting approach is because I've realized that for most of the reflective approaches that are out there, they go through some stages that are relatively vague. Instead, I want to break them down into really specific psychological elements that can give you that additional boost whenever you're doing your reflections. Now, when do you do your reflections? Primarily every single day. If you can do it like for 15 to 20 minutes a day, I guarantee you it's like cleaning up your house. If you spend 15-20 minutes a day cleaning up certain parts of your house every single day, your house will generally be quite pleasant, right? However, if you're spending like one entire day cleaning up after one entire year's worth of not cleaning up, then you'll know that there's going to be a cumulative negative effect there. So, having said that, spend some blocked time to time box your reflection in order for you to ensure that you have a much better future. So let's dive right in. The first circle, the inner circle, is known as the seed reflection process. The acronym is sensation, energy, emotion, decision, and it goes in that sequence. First, you may not even be aware of what the situation is. In order for you to really describe the situation, what you have to do is to be involved in embodying whatever is inside of you right now. So for example, let's say I woke up this morning and I did my seed analysis. What's the sensation that I have? Oh, I feel tired. What's the energy of that tiredness? It's draining, it's negative. Usually in the energy segment, I will discern whether or not it's a positive or a negative energy as 2 broad categories. Then I'll attempt to isolate the emotion involved in that. So when I do the embodied sensation, I'll get a sense of where my tiredness is. Is it underneath my eyes? Is it on my arms? Is it in my gut? And from that sensation, I can tell whether it's a positive or a negative sensation. Then I'll place a name for that emotion, and I might say fatigue. And as a result of fatigue, I'll then play out fatigue and ask myself, based on fatigue, what decisions will I be likely to make today? Now, this entire cycle might seem negative to you, but it's also a very important reflective cycle to come to terms with the present moment. Now, as a result of this cycle, we now go into the next concentric circle, which is the bite. B stands for beliefs, I stands for identity, T stands for thoughts, and E stands for experiences. Now, these 4 elements are also crucial because once you are able to see that you're going to make decisions based on this way of feeling or emoting, then you've got to ask, what version of me am I here? You need to ask, what beliefs allowed you to have this? Do you believe that you haven't been sleeping very well? Do you believe that you've been exhausted doing a lot of work that is thankless? Do you believe that you haven't been appreciated enough? All of these are really crucial because it helps you to identify your innermost thinking, the cognitions inside your head. Then you go to identity. Who are you when you believe these things? Probably a more mediocre person. Then you move on to the next level, which is to identify the thoughts that are brewing up inside your head. That's where you might actually have different images, different recollections of people, and different kinds of self-talk that are inside of your head. Perhaps you might actually identify that the thoughts are relatively negative. And finally, experiences, where you have to ask yourself, where in my life have I experienced similar things? This is going to help you to identify patterns of behavior across your life. So this way, by understanding that this is not a one-time thing, it actually helps to give the impetus for you to want to change this entire way of thinking. Now that you're aware of this, go back to the sensation and identify the highest positive intention of that situation. How do you do this? Basically, you ask, for what reason or for what purpose do you have the sensation? What's the benefit of having the sensation? And what does having this get for you? Now, I know it sounds a little bit odd. How can a negative sensation bring you something positive? Well, think about it deeply. It could be a warning. It could be a way to push you or nudge you. It could be a way to wake you up. It could be a way for you to improve your life circumstances. So right now, let's suppose I have the sensation of tiredness and fatigue. When I talk to this feeling, I might get the sense that I have to take better care of my sleep and my diet. And perhaps I don't quite like what I'm doing right now, and I need to be able to elevate the actions that I'm doing by exercising a little bit more regularly, for example, and eating the right kinds of foods. Maybe even avoiding sugar altogether. And what does that get for me? It gets me clarity of thought, gets me focus, and it allows me to be a much more pleasant person to be around with. If I embodied pleasantness and focus, what kind of energy would that be? And it's likely to be a much more positive energy. What kind of emotional state would that be? It will probably be a more happy, giving, and congruent state for me. So as I go into that, I want to then go through that experience once again and say, based on this feeling, what decision am I likely to make? And it's very likely to be a much more positive decision. Like, I'll probably be doing better videos, don't you think? As a result, what I now need to do is to draw on my beliefs. What beliefs support such a decision to be focused and happy? Maybe the belief that I've been able to do it before. Maybe the fact that I've got so much experience, I can ground myself in this. The next one would be to identify my sense of identity and who I am, as if I am making these kinds of decisions regularly. And I'll imagine myself and that identity and step into that identity by making a conscious choice. I choose to be this person today. I choose to abide by these decisions. Next, I'll think about the thoughts that come to my mind as I reflect on these beliefs and this sense of identity. And finally, I will utilize all of my past experiences that can help to support this direction or decision. It could be a situation long ago in the past where I did step into this identity, or I did learn certain new beliefs that are empowering for me to carry out this decision. So overall, now that I've got these processes in place, the bite seat model enables me to go through a very powerful reflective process. Now, I'd like to encourage all of you to go down to the description box below and download the template so that you can use the template for your proper reflection process. Based on the bite seat model, I'd like you to make your own reflection and tell me how you felt about it and what benefits it engendered for you. I'll be very happy to hear your story so that I'll be able to reach out to more people who are able to utilize their reflective capabilities in order to get to the next level. So in the meanwhile, definitely share this on your socials if you found it helpful. Click the like and subscribe button so that you'll get further notifications on all my videos. And more importantly, use this and share it with your friends on social media platforms so that we can collectively help to elevate people beyond pain and suffering so that they can take actions for abundance.